So we went down to Rural King. My wife and my son actually went down and purchased a few chicks. These are from their Old Faithful chicken breed assortment. The tiny little gray one kind of looks like a sapphire olive egger. I've been trying to research what these guys are. The what looks like the charcoal black one with some light down feathers underneath. That looks like some sort of barred rock. And then Easter egger or an Easter egger mix. Maybe I've heard could be like an Old English or something like that. It doesn't look like a Rhode Island red, but let me know what you guys think. So it looks like the gray and the black, we'll call them chicks, are younger. They're probably just a couple days old. The brown one looked like it was about a week old. It was more alert, more mature, and just obviously much larger than the other two. So the first 2 weeks, what we did is we kept them in a little cardboard box. The first several days didn't need to do anything special, just getting them healthy, making them understand where the water was, the feed, and then instinct kicked in, and they got very active very quick. And they started hopping out of the box. So what we did is we would, after I'd say close to a week, we'd take them in the hallway, put some towels down, and let them run around. And we decided, well, let's give them a little dust bath. So we had this little litter box we used for transferring soil for gardening, and we got a little mix in there with sand and topsoil, and all we had to do is just put it there, and they started digging around and dust bathing and getting comfortable. You can see that they're just kind of going with the flow, but good exercise, good instinct, and good healthy habit for when they go outside. So for the next 6 weeks, we basically put them in this nice airy tent. It's a very safe environment, but it also feels like there's some openness. Gives them kind of that free range feel. As they got older toward the last couple of weeks, we did take them outside. I'll show you that in a minute. But you can see they're just instinctually just kind of digging around, poking around, scratching this. So that's going to help them integrate to the flock quickly, because they're going to go out and free range in the yard. We have half-acre property. There's, I would say, a third of it in the front yard, and then a little bit for the house, and then the backyard is a good chunk of free range area. So these little things got them strong enough and give them that good scratching and foraging behavior. And they adapted quite well. So we used the same bedding and starter feed that we did with the others. That way they're familiar with it. Also, we would open the large garage door about a foot and just let them get familiar with the noises of outside. We do live on a busy street, so you hear that front yard noise when they're in the back, and they're adapting very well to that. So if you see that little litter box with the dust bath, we have a little heater pad underneath that keeps them warm at night. They do need a lot of heat when they're young. And then we have that little heater in the corner just past the little water bottle there. And so all of that combined seemed to be completely adequate for raising these 3 little chicks. So you can see they're very social. Once one of them comes and checks something out, the others will come right behind it. So I used to feed them. We'd go in there a few times a day and just make sure they stayed connected with us and with each other, and then started letting them explore a little bit, bring them out of the tent a little bit, let them run around. And then, as we'll see in a minute, we took them on some field trips when they got bigger. probably a good 4 weeks from where you see them now. We made sure that they would be able to hold their ground with the others. So here they're close to probably, I would say, 6 weeks or so old. We put a stool in there because it looked like the little rungs on it were the right size for them to start roosting, and they took right to it. So this is probably close to bedtime here. It's dark. They start to settle down, and we would come out and make sure they're good and just let them start learning how to roost at night. All right, time for the field trips. So this is about the 6 week phase. They're big, quick enough to run away from danger and follow the flock when needed. So here our rooster is checking them out. Not a threat. He knows we brought him out there, so he's just kind of took him a while to figure out how to react, but that he was a very good rooster. So they're very close to 8 weeks here, and what we did is we decided to block off a large area of the run here and just let them start being outside. And man, they just took right to that dust bathing and nesting. We did make, I think the first few days we made a little coop for them, and but they just loved just laying on top of it at night. So we're just giving them time to just acclimate. They're outside. The new chickens just have to deal with it, and these new chicks have to deal with it, and this is the safest way to make that happen, we thought. So we did this for a couple weeks, and we just go in and replenish their water, hang out with them. They would still hop all over us like when they were little tiny chicks, and so we let the other flock know that we were part of that situation too. So they saw all this interaction, and it really mitigated anything crazy. The transition was extremely smooth. Well, fast forward a few months, and here we go. Hello. They are big, they are healthy, they get along with the flock. This was just before we got rid of the rooster. We did rehome him. You see we have a saddle on the sex link mix there. They all had a rough time. It was just we did not have enough roosters, and he overmated them, and it really tears up their wings, and they lose feathers, and it becomes raw, and we didn't want anything to get infected. So we had to just make the call, and they're very healthy now. It's molting season, so hopefully they'll get some of those feathers back. The black one, Frida, there eating there, she is already growing her feathers back and has become very healthy now. But the main thing is that there's now 3 more productive, happy, healthy chickens. And yeah, so we got a nice flock of 6 egg-laying chickens. Well, here they come, all of them together. I took this last week, I believe. Still very social. When we come out, we usually give them a little treat. We were doing it a few times a day for the sex link, the darkest one on the right, just to get her healthy. But we'll come out like once a day, give them some treats of some sort. And we'll do that more often as the weather gets cold and the bugs are harder to find. But otherwise, they just do fine, just free ranging. You can see they're very large, practically adults now. I think they're pretty much adult size. The rock one there, the black and white one, she is laying eggs, which you're going to see in just a second. Well, so here we have some olive eggs, some Easter eggs, some whatever eggs, brown eggs. And as we go up, you'll see our barred rock has started to lay. There's our first 2 little eggs. So we now have a new producer, and we're expecting 2 more, hopefully before it gets cold. And then we'll get half a dozen eggs or so a day on average. All right, well, that was our journey. It looks like we might have like a Rhode Island Red or Easter egg or mix kind of thing. Barred Rock and Sapphire Olive Egger. So we'll see when the big gray one, see if she gives us some olive eggs. So we'll have a couple olive eggers. But anyways, it was very easy. It was very fun. They're a good hypoallergenic pet for us mostly. But the eggs do help because eggs are still expensive and they are delicious. So I hope this helped you guys understand that it's not that difficult. You just do have to take care of them very early, force them to drink water. And once they know that water is in the little bottle, they'll just go for it. Give them the little starter mix, and that's all you need to do. Just keep the area clean. And then you'll see as they get energetic, just give them a little bit more space here and there. I will try to find the link for this tent. This thing was absolutely perfect. It was the great transition area. So I think it was like $30, $40 or something, and totally held up, and we can use it several times. So God bless you guys. I will see you in the next one. And if you do know the breeds as they're older, look at some of that video and let us know if we're right on the breed mix. Ciao.